I was talking to Teresa like if I was her girlfriend living down the street daily, like talking and texting and calling. Same with Jennifer. Same with Jennifer. And like now, I spoke with someone on the Beverly Hills cast and it's like, hey, how are you? Like a friend, not like a stalker, like some weirdo. And the same with you. You talk to these girls like if you're their roommate.
Yes, and I think that's what they like because they can tell. Like with PK, look, he did say things that night. I'm like, I'm not going to repeat them. I'm not an asshole.
Yeah.
The one thing I will repeat is yes, he did say this is the season of Dorit. Like she is clocking in and she is
Yes.
there. And I am, listen, Dorit dressed in head to toe, like Balmain and Gucci and Dior, like just coming at Kyle is like, I would pay. I mean, this is like heaven. This is heaven.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, quickly, let's just make a reference
Yeah.
back to Jersey because right now when you drop
Let's
those
do it.
designer names, when I saw Jennifer, she came to California. We went to Starbucks, we had some coffee, and I remember sitting across from her and she had this huge gold necklace on. And I was just like, oh my God, this bitch is like just drowning in money. Look at this fucking necklace. I said, I don't want to be tacky, but your necklace, Jennifer, OMG. And she grabbed it, David, and she's like, Burlington. And like it wasn't real. And I was like, oh my God. And she's like, yeah. And then she had this Louis Vuitton little shirt on or whatever too. And she was just like, yeah, like she started telling me how a lot of her shit is knockoff. It's not real. And so that's why, like now, especially watching Beverly Hills, like as I'm seeing these girls walk in Chanel, like I know it's not the same Chanel Teresa was walking into Rails with
No.
because hers was a knockoff. And these girls are wearing the authentic stuff.
Jennifer, you just made me remind. I'll tell you a story. But Jennifer, when I used to go to her house too, she used to show me her closet. She used to be like, fake, fake, fake. I'm like, you didn't have to say that. I could see with my own eyes. This is fake. Like, it's so fake. But I have a story. I told this on the air like years ago. So, like, back when Jennifer and I were friends, this is honestly like probably before the pandemic. I think I don't even know. This might have been like 2019. Whatever her first season was. It was after her first season. Between her first season and her second season, she's like was always saying like I'm going to take you out for lunch for your birthday, like whatever. I don't need that. But like finally she's like I'm coming into the city. I'm going to take you out for lunch for your birthday. Great. Now that's listen, that is nice. Like I am not that is very nice. Whatever. So I'm like, well, actually, like we can meet whatever. I forgot where we even went, but I'm like, I'm actually going to go to Chanel, like out of all places, because there's actually a watch that I'm going to buy myself. So I'm like, it's just the same day. And she's like, what? You're going to Chanel? You have to take the Queen of Chanel. I'm like, fine. I mean, literally, it was the same day. So I'm like, come
Yeah.
to Chanel. I'm going to get this watch, whatever. So she came. And somehow, I don't know how it started. Like she started filming me, like the details. This was a while ago, so I don't really remember. Like she was filming it. Maybe I think she was like filming me speaking to the salesperson and buying this watch. So I did buy this watch. I left with it. I truly bought it. I still have it. And somehow, I don't know how the video was cut together, but she posted it online as if she bought this watch for me. Now, let's not get into how much this watch was, but it was so she posted it like she bought it for me. Okay. Like rich Jennifer Aydin, the Queen of Chanel, just let's buy this fan a
Yeah.
watch. I mean, we're talking like that's not even like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you
No, that's kind of creepy.
but wait, so right, so she did that. It gets even better. So like I guess like a couple days later, Bravo, because we all know Bravo sees everything. Bravo PR called her and she got in trouble. They're like, what is this was it was after her first season, whatever year that was, before her second season. She was already signed on for the second season, but they're like, you can't be buying fans because this is before my podcast. They're like, what the hell are you doing? And you're so they thought that she bought the fan this watch and she
Yeah.
led the people to believe that like I'm rich and like I just throw money around and I bought my own damn watch, bitch. Like you just
Yeah.
happened to be there. Now I see why you wanted to come with me. Can you believe
Yeah.
this? I mean, I guess it's not that interesting a story, but like, man, this was
Yeah.
before I really knew how Bravo worked. And I was like, what do you mean Bravo called you? Oh my God. Now I'd be like,
Yeah.
why am I fucking involved in this? Leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this
That's
was
weird.
a
That's
long
weird.
time ago. I don't know. I
Yeah.
thought that was an interesting
Yeah.
story.
No. No. Yeah. She definitely wears a lot of knockoff, but I mean, it
No,
looked real, but no, she admitted it to me. A lot of her stuff is fake. So is a lot of Teresa's.
oh God, yeah.
I remember when I met Teresa,
There's
when
one bag
Teresa,
I saw with Teresa recently where I'm like, okay, this actually might be real. There's one thing I saw where I thought it was real.
when Teresa came for the Shein photo shoot and I met her, we were having coffee at the entrance of the place. There was a little coffee thing right there where you could have a drink, and we were having some coffee. And when we were getting up and leaving, she left her glasses on the table, and I was like, Teresa, you're leaving your glasses. And she's like, oh shit. And I was like, oh my God, Fendi, you don't want to leave those behind. They were probably a pretty penny. And you know, she told me, she's like, they're not real. So if I would have left them behind, no worries, babe. I just thought, oh shit, we're not watching anything authentic with these bitches.
This just popped up. I guess this just came out, like literally in real time as we're speaking. RHONJ's Teresa Giudice accuses Margaret of sabotaging co-star's marriage. What the fuck is this? Teresa revealed why she never got close to Margaret.
Is she
Oh,
giving another interview, another exclusive, Teresa?
okay, well here this literally just popped up. She's saying the reason she never got close to Margaret is because of how Margaret she this one's grasping is because of how Margaret treated Danielle Staub. Oh, that's the reason. Now I
Oh
see.
my gosh.
It's because Danielle tied the knot with Marty, and 3 months later, reports surfaced that they were divorcing, and now everyone's accusing Margaret, of going after marriages. So basically, no, of course she says this on her own podcast,
And she's
that
saying she was never close to Margaret because of this,
that is what she's saying.
which
Yep.
is so funny because we just watched her at Rails at the finale talking about how she was so mad that she reached out to Vanessa because she thought they were friends.
This
She
is like
contradicts
crazy.
herself. Yeah, it's crazy. But again, there you go. There's only two people on that cast in the off season constantly talking shit about other people or how they're coming back or working OT, to stay in the news. Everybody else is sitting back, letting it unfold, letting Andy make his
Right, like
decision.
Cabral hasn't really said much, right? Has
No,
she?
they're quiet. These girls are, Melissa's going to her son's football games on Fridays. Like these people are just living life. The foodies are going to the pumpkin patch with their girls. Like everyone is just staying silent, enjoying life. Yet Teresa and Jen just won't shut up. I mean, I really hope production and Andy is annoyed at this point because it's so obvious. They live in this is their livelihood. Ugh, they're gonna go crazy when they don't come back.
When Jennifer Aydin does not come back, she is going to lose it. Oh, and we way to bury the elephant in the room. Now there's this rumor that apparently Miss Aydin is going to start a podcast. I don't know where this
Oh,
started.
okay. Here's another thing. So Teresa was talking to some has-been on her podcast last week, and Jen was talking, I think, with another podcaster last week. And it's funny when they talk about me when I come up and they're asked about them working with bloggers, they call me some obsessed stalker fan who they blocked, and I got mad because they blocked me and they didn't want nothing to do with me, and that's why I came out and spoke against them. Yet these bitches had me involved behind the scenes in absolutely every little aspect of their life, including their podcasts, including running their social media. I mean, Jen Aydin last fall was talking to me about how she wants a podcast. She wants a YouTube channel and she wants to do Pool House after dark. And she's going to film in her pool house and she's going to go into like housewife stuff and gossip. And she wants her own show. And kind of like what you do, you've got, your own different platforms and stuff, but she wants to call it Pool House After Dark. She was like, oh, yeah, you can help me do this. You can help me do that. I'm like, yeah, I have no problem. I can help you design this. And like, they were involving me in everything behind the scenes. And I was pitching her ideas for the neon sign she wanted hanging behind her when she films her pod. And so she recently talked on a podcast last week how she wants to get her podcast going. So, me and Tree Fab, shout out to my girl. I was like, oh my gosh, remember when this girl was telling us all this stuff? It's so funny because we were obsessed stalker fans who they wanted nothing to do with, yet they were telling us all their ideas and having us design their shit. So I wonder if she's going to call it that. So Tree Fab went and tweeted some stuff calling her saying, hey, you still going to name it Pool House After Dark? Trolling a little bit. It was hilarious. But yeah, it's so
That
predictable.
is funny. And well, she's going to need some platform when she's not there. But I mean, these housewife podcasts, if Teresa's is not booming, I don't see how Jennifer Aydin's will boom. I don't get
Yeah,
the
I
point.
don't think so.
Like,
No.
you know what the thing too about her is, like with Jennifer, like when she's doing like Teresa does this too, but like, here I am talking shit and I'm giving my honest opinions. But like if I was to interview someone, like then it's not about me. Then I'm a professional. It's all about you. It's not really my job to call you out to your face. It's my job to get you to answer questions and we could all, it's like a different skill set. Like you look at like when these women that are on these shows do interviews, they are different. Like Danielle Cabral is not, she's sitting in her seat, she's calm. It's a different skill set. Jennifer does these interviews as if she's on Housewives. Like I forgot what podcast she was on, but she was like, don't want to start none. Like her, it's like this is not how you do an interview. Like
Yes.
this is like an interview. Like, like if Jennifer were here, now she would never come on my podcast, but I think that ship has sailed, which is more than fine with me. Believe it or not, more people will listen to this than if Jennifer Aydin were sitting here giving me some canned answers. But if she were here, I would be nice to her because like my job really is to interview her. It's not to really be in your face. It's to like, I may not believe what you're saying,